This January, the sky will once again be filled with a series of stunning celestial events. From a super full moon to planetary conjunctions, meteor showers to comet sightings, and the season's best deep sky targets. We are entering a very productive month for both observation and astrophotography. The lunar cycle continues to set the rhythm of our nights. The full moon on January 3rd is a supermoon, appearing 14% larger and 30% brighter than a typical full moon. While it offers a spectacular sight for the naked eye, it will make it challenging for astrophotographers to capture faint, deep sky targets. However, after the last quarter on January 10th, the skies will begin to darken. The most ideal observing nights will follow the new moon on January 18th. Between January 19th and 24th, the sky will be at its darkest, marking the best week of the month for telescope observations. The cycle concludes with the first quarter moon on January 26th. This month, conjunctions between the moon and planets will create some of the most beautiful vistas in the sky. On the night of January 4th, the moon and Jupiter will appear side by side, offering an impressive show that lasts until dawn. On January 23rd, the moon and Saturn will pair up for a calm and enchanting encounter. On January 29th, Mercury and Venus will be positioned very close to each other on the western horizon after sunset. However, they will set quickly, leaving a very limited and challenging window for observation. Finally, on January 31st, the moon, Jupiter, and Pollux will gather in the same region, recreating the striking view seen at the beginning of the month. Planets will have different periods of visibility throughout January. Jupiter will spend the entire month in the constellation Gemini, shining at its maximum brilliance. January 10th will be the ideal day to observe Jupiter and its moons, as it reaches opposition, becoming fully illuminated by the sun. At the start of the month, Venus and Mars will be hidden from view. However, toward the end of January, Venus will gradually emerge on the western horizon as the evening star. Saturn will be visible from sunset until midnight through mid-January. But by the end of the month, it will set much earlier, leaving a more limited window for observation. One of the most exciting events of January is undoubtedly the Quadrantid meteor shower. Active from December 28th to January 11th, the Quadrantids will peak on January 3rd. While it's possible to see up to 100 meteors per hour in dark skies, the presence of the supermoon will likely keep the visible count a bit lower than expected. The best time to watch the Quadrantids, which radiate from the constellation Boötes, is during the early morning hours before dawn. On January 8th, Comet 24P Shomas will reach perihelion, its closest point to the Sun. It will rise from the eastern horizon after midnight and remain visible until sunrise through a pair of strong binoculars or a telescope. This month's deep sky targets perfectly reflect the majesty of the winter sky. At the top of the list is the icon of winter, the Orion Nebula. This month, the nebula is in an ideal position for photography. Moving from Orion's sword toward his belt, we encounter one of the most visually stunning pairs, the Flame Nebula and the iconic Horsehead Nebula. These are among the most challenging targets to capture, but they offer rewarding results in low light pollution. Leaving Orion for the constellation Taurus, the tone shifts completely. Here we find the Pleiades, the most elegant reflection nebula in the deep sky, glowing with its characteristic blue hue. The Pleiades is the easiest deep sky object to spot with the naked eye, though binoculars often provide a better view than a telescope. In the constellation Cancer, the Beehive cluster stands as one of the closest and brightest open star clusters. Because this cluster covers such a wide area of the sky, viewing it through binoculars will be much more impressive than using a high magnification telescope. Finally, the Rosette Nebula in the constellation Monoceros remains one of the most visually satisfying targets. January is truly the best time of the year to observe this cosmic rose. This January, meteor showers, comets, planets, and iconic nebulae fill the night sky. Whether you are using binoculars, a telescope, or just your eyes, there is so much to discover. January nights will once again reveal the winter sky in its full glory.